Have you ever wanted to own your own museum? Hey guys, welcome back to the Prehistoric Life podcast. I'm your host, Eric Crawford, and today we're going to just have a very fun, unscripted, shorter episode. But I also want to put a little challenge out there for y'all guys. So something that I've been working on in my free time is museum floor plans because museums are awesome. I love museums. Any paleo enthusiast loves museums. It's the one thing that drives us all together and unites us regardless. And my ultimate goal is to one day have my own museum. And so that is something that I will eventually work towards and try and work towards. But it's a good idea to have a floor plan. So before we get started here, I want to challenge everybody to create your own museum floor plan. I have one set up. It doesn't have to be similar. It doesn't have to, you can do it however you want. And I will say, if this video gets a lot of engagement and you guys message me your floor plans on Instagram, or I don't know if you can on YouTube, but if you figure that out or you comment down below or something, I'll do an episode somehow talking about all of them and possibly reviewing them and with some other people. Do a little thing and we can vote on which ones are the best and whatever and something cool like that. But to just get into today's episode, that is just an idea. If y'all don't want to do that, we won't, but I think that would be a very fun idea. We're going to just dive right into this floor plan. You got the front door here. You walk in and you got your little gift shop, front desk area, donate box, dino skull, something cool here. I'm of course partial to Allosaurus for obvious reasons, but you'll see that later on. But something cool here to snap attention immediately: gift shop, donation box, front desk, buy tickets, yada yada. You go in, the first thing you see is Allosaurus. I want the first, you walk in and it's just at you, just Allosaurus. Maybe fighting a Stegosaurus, Ceratosaurus, even I think it would be cool, Torvosaurus, one of the underrated giants of the Triassic dark triad theropods. Just immediately, right off the bat, encompass you. Just wow, just immediately, just right there. And then you got this huge wall case of just. Maybe it can be the history of Earth told by certain fossils. You have your banded iron and whatever on. You get to like Dunkleostes, trilobites, ammonites, dinosaurs. You have like Herrerasaurus, Dilophosaurus, Allosaurus. Later, ceratopsians, triceratops. Down here you have like Smilodon, not Megaraptor. Megaraptor can be in there somewhere, but just not there. Smilodon, Mastodon, Mammoth, Terror Bird down here on this end. I think that would be very cool. Actually, can I? Cool. You got a stairwell over here, elevator over here, bathrooms in the back. Wall case specimen. This could be anything. I want it to be pretty thick, so maybe it could be. I know it's the Creation Museum, but the Ebenezer exhibit at the Creation Museum is a pretty cool design, regardless of if you think that museum is good or not. I think that's a pretty cool looking case. Something like that, but for possibly like Tyrannosaurus or Oviraptors or hang on. Triceratops, maybe even like a sauropod, something cool. You get some more wall case specimens, some thin stuff, ammonites, trilobites, fish. But then this is really the meat, the bread, the bone, no pun intended, a giant sauropod exhibit. And one of these corners is open. Now, granted, this is not to scale, so don't be like, your scale's off. It doesn't, if you are making your own museum floor plan to send to me, it doesn't have to be to scale, but it does have to make sense. So this is a Diplodocus. You can't have like don't be like, that's not what I wanted to do, but I think I can work with that. Don't be like, yeah, this is a Triceratops or something like, yeah, this is Triceratops and that's Diplodocus. Make it make sense, but like it doesn't have to be to like perfect scale because God knows I'm not good at that. But here you get the what I refer to as like more horizontal neck sauropods like Diplodocus. Even Apatosaurus falls in there, and then you get like tall necks, which is Macronaria and Diploceras. But so you have Diplodocus on one side, Brachiosaurus on the other, and just for like shits and giggles, funsies, we have a Margosaurus right here. Because I think a Margosaurus is beautiful, underrated, and where I'm from, there's no massive dinosaur fossils like this. So I think a museum like this would be crazy cool. Get some more rows of wall specimen. Another big, huge wall specimen. And here, open screen with Acrosaur family tree display. This would probably be the one that I made, somehow projected onto the wall so you can kind of see this giant family tree. I might refine it, do whatever to it. Maybe you can actively see me working on it if you're there. But I think a cool projector somehow here, just displaying that or something. Maybe a giant TV screen, like 100 TVs or something. I don't know. It'd be very difficult to set up, but not impossible. Another giant wall case specimen, case of mini specimen. Acrocanthosaurus would be another cool one. Giganotosaurus would be cool. Sauropods, Titanosaurs, Megaraptors, like I mentioned earlier, Oviraptors, a nest, something cool like that. Then in the corner, Carnotaurus specimen, because Carnotaurus is awesome and it deserves an entire skeleton somewhere. But then, of course, we have the restrooms over here. There will probably only be restrooms on the first floor just because I think the logistics of multi-floor restrooms gets difficult and you don't really need more than one restroom, but you do need a restroom. Then you got an elevator over here. You're funneled into it. So then we move up to the second floor. So you come up on the elevator or the stairs, and one of the first things you see is Suchomimus skeleton. Why? Because I love Suchomimus. Suchomimus, I do not have my Suchomimus here. That makes me sad. Dang it. That actually makes me a little sad that I don't have my Suchomimus PSNO thing here. That does actually genuinely make me a little sad. But why? Because Suchomimus is a beautiful Spinosaurid that does not get enough love and attention. It is the forgotten middle child between Baryonyx and Spinosaurus. So a full Suchomimus skeleton would be elaborately beautiful. But you have this cool second floor balcony looking over. So we have marine creatures here. We have pterosaurs over here. But then you get to actually see the sauropods. So you have like the Brachiosaurus neck and head come up kind of to the balcony so you can see it. You look down, you see the Diplodocus over here. Over here, we have some cool skulls. Maybe I can even do like, okay, cool. This is a bunch of ceratopsian skulls. Maybe this actually reminds me of this cool. Ooh, bust my behind open. This cool little Protoceratops skull that I have. I'm blanking on the artist, so I'm so sorry. If you're the artist of this, please feel free to comment down below and be like, hey, I know, I made that. That's pretty cool. This cool little Protoceratops magnet. Yeah, you can stay right there for right now. Something not that small. It's way too small, but something big like that over here. So you have like ceratopsian skulls, a few theropod skulls, Allosaurus, T-Rex, Ceratosaurus, Megaraptor, Oviraptors, Struthiomimedes, Spinosaurids, Dinochirus, Therizinosaurus would be pretty cool as well. Over here, then you have like sauropods, Brachiosaurus, Camarasaurus, Diplodocus, Apatosaurus. Those would be pretty cool. But then down here on this end, a cool Dilophosaurus skeleton would be really cool. They're small, they're compact, they fit in they're not really small. They're bigger than most humans, than the vast majority. But they are relatively small in terms of dinosaurs. So I think I would be able to fit one there. If that doesn't fit, Ceratosaurus is also an awesome second pick. And then, of course, personal office space for collections room, for me personally, podcasting room, probably in the corner somewhere. Maybe a prep lab, a small prep lab, second floor prep lab area. I think that would be pretty cool. Maybe this front half here. Maybe this front half, if I can find how to do this. How do I get lines? Okay. I guess we're going to do this the old-fashioned way. Maybe this like front half section is prep lab and actually probably should be like here. Could be like prep lab. Get some tables here. These are very crude for right now. I'll probably go back and add some stuff in here. Some tables here, some windows here, so you actually see in. So you actually see in and see what people are preparating. Of course, you have the like containers for fossil storage here, or it could just be silt. That's cool too. You get some of these here. This is very crude. I know that. I will deal with that. Back here is just like personal office space. For podcasting, whatever else, just a place to like come and get away. But on the other side, you come to the other side. Dinosaur footprints. I love dinosaur footprints. Planning a whole entire trip around going up to Connecticut to get one. Pachycephalosaurus or Pachycephalosaurus tree through skulls, or 1 to 2 full skeletons. I think that would be cool. I know one of the museums in Wyoming or Utah or Colorado, might be the Museum of the Rockies, I'm blanking on it right now, has the ceratopsian skull tree. So I think that, but with Pachycephalosaurus, is very manageable and possible. And then over here, petrified wood and fossilized plants for those people that love those. Petrified wood is awesome. So much so that I keep some here. I'm not going, well. Wow. It's been way too hot here recently, apparently. So much so that I keep some from that my brother brought me back from Vienna whenever he went. Some petrified, beautiful wood. Would be a cool specimen to have there. Just as grounds of it's cool to have and you can have it very manageably. Not back the way it exactly was, but it'll be fine. Of course, and then you have I know for those of you who watched the Fernbank episode, they had the pterosaur mobile and hanging pterosaur skeletons. I think something like that would be very cool to hang over basically the entrance. This would be like right over the entrance, by the way. So you'd come in, you'd look up, and you'd see like a huge pterosaur with a bunch of smaller ones around it. And then up here would be your info plate for that. Then over here we have aquatic creatures, Ichthyosaurus, Mosasaurus, obviously, and Elasmosaurus, which is a plesiosaur looking thing, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it looks like a plesiosaur. It has the long neck and everything. And I think that would be a cool thing to include. Then, of course, you go back down. You come back out. You do whatever. You go see the Carnotaurus. On your way out, you get to see some more cool wall specimen. And you're funneled back into the entrance where you get the gift shop area. You can do some cool stuff, buy some stuff here, front desk, whatever, and then you zip on out, go to your parking lot, have a good day. And I think this is just a temporary design. This is one of the 3 major designs that I've made. I'll do probably 3 more episodes on this and bring up the same idea, refine the idea of some kind of little competition thing. But again, that is just an idea. But also, before we wrap this up, here's actually a quick word from one of our sponsors. Huge shout out to today's sponsor, Dinosaur Trips. If you enjoy these majestic creatures I talk about here on the podcast and would like to go see them for yourself, I would heavily recommend Dinosaur Trips. Dinosaur Trips is a company created to give people a behind-the-scenes in-look on museums and dig sites, along with just having an amazing time looking at these amazing, fabulous, majestic creatures. So if you sound interested, go to www.dinosaurtrips.com and tell them Prehistoric Life sent you and get $250 off your tickets. Now, back to the show. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is Prehistoric Live. It's going to be an exciting year. I really hope to see a lot of people there. We have 2 more speakers than we did last year, and we have an amazing giveaway. That's the wrong thing. We have amazing giveaways planned. I'm so excited to be able to do this, and I just really hope to see a bunch of people there. So go ahead and grab your tickets. Time is running out at the time of recording this. We have by the time this comes out, I think it'll be exactly 3:15 in between. It'd be about 3 weeks at that point by the time this comes out. You'd have 3 weeks. So you have 3 weeks left to buy tickets. So hurry up, get your tickets. Time is running out, so do get your tickets. I hope to see you all there. That is all from me for right now. We have one last sponsor that I'd love to say a word.
If you follow my account, you probably like dinosaurs, fossils, and the prehistoric world. And if you have ever shopped for fossils, you'll see that a lot of them have some very high prices, rightfully so, because they are usually one-of-a-type specimen. Then you go look for casts, and you see a lot of these low-quality casts going around, so you just don't know what to do. You either have to buy something super expensive or something super low quality. Enter Dinosaur Skeletons. Dinosaur Skeletons specializes in creating museum-quality replicas of prehistoric life and is renowned for its highly detailed reconstructions. Founded by a professional paleo artist with over a decade of experience in the collectibles industry, they are dedicated to providing enthusiasts, collectors, and institutions with the opportunity to own magnificent, lifelike prehistoric replicas. Each creation is crafted with exceptional care and attention to detail. This means they are highly accurate to their source material, super high quality, and museum grade level quality. This is probably the closest you could get to bringing home a museum exhibit. They're also fairly affordable for the accuracy and quality put into it, which also means they make great gifts for birthdays and holidays for that collector or dinosaur enthusiast you know. So go check out Dinosaur Skeletons and get your cast today.
So that is all from me for right now. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope to see a bunch of you there at Prehistoric Live. I'm your host, Eric Crawford. This has been the Prehistoric Live podcast. Signing off. Remember, keep it prehistoric. Goodbye.